Aries. Aries symbol. Even with Mercury turning retrograde tomorrow, dear Aries, you're in a decent position to communicate today. You're certainly ready to reason things out. There is a sense that reaching out to others is right for you and can help move you forward. Even so, putting something brand new into action is probably not the best choice. Your curiosity draws you to new experiences, and you can take an active interest in learning. You might do better with projects that are already in progress rather than pressuring yourself to take on more. A change of pace can be refreshing on an emotional level today. Taurus. Taurus symbol. It's a time for grounding yourself now that the moon has left your sign and is visiting your resources sector, dear Taurus. While you might continue to focus on your needs, emotionally, you're more patient and willing to concentrate on building. This mindset allows you to see what's truly important. Watch for overindulging, but do give thought to how you can improve your work or income. Mercury will turn retrograde tomorrow, and you may be turning to the past for answers or revisiting old problems from a new perspective in the weeks ahead. You'll find that pushing matters doesn't get you very far. Instead, it would help if you worked on review, refinement, and editing projects. Gemini. Gemini symbol. With the moon in your sign all day, dear Gemini, you seek channels for expressing yourself. Even with Mercury about to turn retrograde, conversations are inspiring today. You can feel a strong need for self-nurturing with this moon transit, and you shouldn't dismiss it, although taking things in moderation makes sense. You're likely to feel connected and engaged or crave involvement. You are in a solid position to acknowledge unmet needs and feelings that you've recently kept at bay. An excellent channel for release may be through journaling or personal interests and projects, but putting bold statements out there may not be the best idea with Mercury turning retrograde tomorrow morning. Cancer. Cancer symbol. You're likely to enjoy some time out from the usual today, dear Cancer. The moon continues its transit of your privacy sector, signaling a need for space to process, digest, heal, and wind down. With Mercury about to turn retrograde, it's better to edit projects already in progress than it is to start something brand new. Nevertheless, you're comfortable with others today. Try not to impede your progress with an impulsive move. Pausing your busy schedule is most appropriate now if you can manage it. You're inclined to go low profile for now, but problem solving can be natural. Leo. With Mercury about to turn retrograde, it's a good idea to avoid taking on too much, dear Leo. Past errors can crop up, but instead of stressing yourself out, take advantage of the weeks ahead to re-evaluate what you are doing. Even with this shift, you can enjoy light-hearted connecting and communicating today. It can be a fine time for some intellectual companionship or stimulation. You have an active interest in learning new things and connecting with others. Or, you can be positively focused on goals, dreams, and wishes. Opportunities for cooperation can emerge, although there is some tendency to misinterpret things in spots now. Virgo. The moon transits the top of your solar chart all day, dear Virgo, helping you tune into priorities. You're more aware of your responsibilities and performing at your best. It can be motivating to keep a goal in mind. Situations at this time of the lunar month tend to encourage you to mature or advance. Meaningful tasks feel more comfortable than frivolous ones more often than not today. Conversations are down to earth and useful. At the same time, with Mercury about to turn retrograde, it's likely you'll have a change of mind later. Watch for the tendency to want to bite off more than you can chew, but do stretch your mind to consider possibilities and opportunities where you may not have seen them in the past. Libra. The moon spends the day in your spirit sector, dear Libra, and your broader goals are an emotional focal point. You radiate good energy and attract feedback with similar vibes. Even with Mercury about to turn retrograde, you seem to be at greater ease expressing both your ideas and feelings. Contributing and connecting come more naturally and are rewarding. Still, your path is to look at current plans in new ways and perhaps slow things down a little. It's best to avoid saying or promising too much today. Scorpio. The moon spends the day in your solar 8th house, dear Scorpio, and your need to observe and reflect is strong. It's a time of the lunar month to process your feelings and recent experiences, but you also gravitate to projects or situations that engage your emotions. You might see a new layer of a matter, perhaps even remembering a past problem differently, and it's revealing as the moon harmonizes with stationing Mercury. Mercury is about to turn retrograde, and decision-making is unlikely to be straightforward, further encouraging you to look more deeply within for answers. Taking more time to think things through in the coming weeks should be revealing and perhaps quite rewarding. Sagittarius. Even with Mercury about to turn retrograde, dear Sagittarius, there's fluidity between your feelings and intellect today, and you might find it easy to communicate at both levels. The moon spends the day in your opposing sign, sensitizing you to the other side of the coin. You're gaining perspective on your life, putting you in a good place to understand how to balance things. However, with Mercury about to turn retrograde, crossed wires can occur. In the weeks ahead, you could be waiting for information, and while you wait, it's a good time to edit, review, and revise. Capricorn. The moon spends the day in your work and health sector, dear Capricorn, and taking care of details and attention to practical priorities or your health seems to satisfy you most. Organizing your life is a strong draw now. It feels comfortable giving thought to issues you avoided in the past with the moon's harmony with stationing Mercury. Mercury is about to turn retrograde, and communications could cause some confusion, or directions are unclear as the shift occurs. However, the retrograde cycle is helpful for looking back, editing, and reviewing. Today, watch for talking too soon or making promises since you can experience a change of mind later. Aquarius. The moon spends the day in your sector of joy and creativity, dear Aquarius, and you're emotionally and mentally invested in your heartfelt pursuits. Your ideas and sense of fun are big. Giving certain opinions more thought can be beneficial now as you view a matter differently on this day before a retrograde Mercury cycle. Avoid putting too high expectations on yourself today, and let yourself explore your thoughts and desires without pressure. Misunderstandings are all too likely as the shift occurs. However, you stand to gain tremendous insight by observing and listening today and in the weeks ahead. Allow room for delays for best results. Pisces. You can benefit from looking within now, dear Pisces. While some matters can be up in the air, particularly with Venus retrograde and Mercury about to turn retrograde, it can be pleasant to play with ideas now. Your needs for safety, security, and familiarity are at the forefront today. It's an excellent time for introspection. Processing your feelings and recent events seems most important. Rather than pushing forward with new activities, take the time to explore what is happening inside. It's not an ideal time for big decisions. In fact, if your mind has been running ahead of you recently, it's a time for slowing down a little to allow other parts to catch up. The retrograde Mercury cycle ahead could also be an opportunity to return to old projects and see them in new ways.